As summer slips past and a new school year approaches, Essentia Health is making it more convenient than ever to schedule checkups for your kids and teens, including the mandatory sports physicals. Dr. Dilhan Marasingha is a pediatrician at Essentia Health and joins us today with what you need to know to get your kids ready for back to school. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and we talked, this is a busy time for you, but kind of a good time. You'd rather see these kiddos now when they're healthy and getting them ready for back to school that they're so excited for anyway. Yeah. So yeah, you're on your toes, I'm sure, though.
Exactly.
Constantly.
Yep.
That's good.
We're filling up, but we love it that way. So
yeah. So well checks. What does that mean, though, for those that, because not everybody goes, but I mean, it really is something that people need to be doing as kind of a routine back to school activity, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. So well child checks in general are a yearly checkup that we like to do as pediatricians and physicians. And it's really a good time for you just to bring your child in and we can check the overall status of their mental and physical health.
Okay, so I mean, you're going to visit with them. Obviously, you're doing, is it eye checks and all that kind of stuff too?
Yeah. So one of the nice things is that for a well child check, we tailor it for the age of the child.
Okay.
So if you have an infant coming in, we're going to do very different things than what a toddler does, or a school age kid, or even a teenager. So some examples of screening tests that we do is we'll do yearly blood pressure checks on all our kids. We might check vision and we might check cholesterol. And for our teenagers as well, the important thing is we do depression and anxiety screens as well. Because that's a tough time to be a kid sometimes.
It is, absolutely. So what age would you start that, though? I know you said teenager, but I mean, are we talking like late elementary age, 5th grade,
generally,
4th grade?
Yeah, generally around 12 or 13 is when we'll do those yearly anxiety depression screens. One thing I like to do, and many pediatricians do as well, is we kick the parents out of the room and those teenagers get some one-on-one time to ask questions for us, especially if they're a little too shy to ask their parents about it.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's a good thing that you're doing that too. Just getting them comfortable too, talking with a doctor, I think, is important. So, okay, so do you recommend these for all children? Because you talked about, infants as well. So, I mean, they're not going back to school. So why is this a good time to even bring, younger than school age children in?
Sure. So actually, one of my favorite quotes goes right along with this. It's from Frederick Douglass, and he said, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." So a huge part of pediatrics, a huge part of pediatrics is something called preventive medicine, which is in general identifying risk factors and healthy lifestyle choices so that we can prevent our kids from ever becoming sick. Because that's the whole goal, is to have our kids go through school being healthy, being able to do what they want to do. So I really do think well child checks are the first line of defense for our preventive medicine. It really gets these kids early so that we can see them, and maybe we can catch signs of depression or signs of being sick early so that we can intervene even before it becomes a big part affecting their lives.
Yeah, and they're starting to be so much more active at that time as well. So I know we've talked sports physicals in the past. Do you include that in this wellness check?
Yeah, many of us will try to do both the well child check and a sports physical at that same visit. Okay,
so then an older student is going to probably be there a little bit longer than if they're doing if they're doing an activity, a sports activity or of some sort. So,
and it is important to do those two things differently because a sports physical is really tailored for our competitive athletes. So we look at specific diseases that might affect them, and we talk about certain symptoms that they should be looking out for as they start their sports. And finally, we can do a really tailored physical exam for their specific sport to make sure that they're healthy going into the season.
Yeah, that makes total sense, and it's awesome. So, okay, how about what's the easiest way then to schedule this checkup?
Yeah, so we have with Essential, we have our pediatric clinic. The best thing is just to go ahead and call the clinic, say that you want to schedule a well child check, and then our great team will be able to get you in with any of the pediatricians that are there.
Okay, that sounds great. So is there do you happen to know that number?
Ooh,
I know it's
that is
loaded.
above my pay
I was
grade, I
just gonna
think.
say.
But there's a very nice thing called Google that I'm sure you could
I'm
look that
sure
up.
they can find that. So, okay, that's awesome. Anyway, getting those scheduled right now. It's a great time to do it. Back to school, you're getting all sorts of other things ready. So it's a perfect time to also get that wellness check-in. Thank you so very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Stay with us. We have so much more next.